Hey everybody, Chris here, 4 Directions Bushcraft. We're just playing around at the creek today practicing our traps. I got a request on YouTube to show the L7 trigger system snare. Now I did a variation of this in the woods for small woodland game. You can catch squirrel, rabbits, raccoons, possums, or anything, but it's traditionally for a fish trap. And so we're down here practicing it today, and I wanted to show you how I kind of set it up. So check this out. What I did was I made a pilot hole in the ground because we're working with sandy river bank soil, so it's not very sturdy. So what I did was I pounded this stake into the ground, used it as a pilot hole, set this sapling up because there's no saplings over here that really we can use or utilize, so I made my own. Now I have this Y-stick in here. Somebody on YouTube said, hey man, use a Y-stick to kind of brace your sapling. So that's a great idea, utilize that. So that's what we've done here, just to give a little more support. Now, I drove my sapling in straight down into the ground instead of angled it. Last video I angled it. It didn't give me a lot of pressure on my snare. So drive it straight into the ground, utilize a Y-stick. We have it bent over here. We have our bank line tied to our trigger system, and also bank line from our trigger system down to our hook. We're gonna act like that's a hook today. We're just practicing. Our hook goes into the water with our bait, obviously. Our bank line from our sapling goes to our trigger stick. Bank line from the trigger stick to the water. Now how I set this up was, like the title mentions, it's an L shape and a 7 shape notch. Again, I've done this on my woodland video, so check that out. But it's just a L shape, 7 shape that latch together. And when the fish tugs on this, it's gonna set the snare. It's gonna pull these 2 notches apart. Now, a variation of this that is really useful, Dave Canterbury does it on his videos, so check that out as well. And he actually taught me how to do this. So what you do to make this trap a little more sensitive, and if you can get a close-up of this, is to take your snare wire that's going to the river and wrap it through your trigger system. Now, also tilt your trap, meaning pull it facing you, if you guys can understand that. And that will allow your trigger system to be set with very sensitive pressure. So now that my line is going through you put your line through your trigger. That way, anything at all that pulls, and it's gonna set that hook just like that. So, like I said, this is our this is our fabricated hook. We're just practicing. Trigger system is going to be an L shape. So an L shape. This is going to be our 7 shape. L7 trigger system. Bank line goes from your trigger to the water. Bank line goes from your trigger to your sapling. Lay them together, twist your trigger mechanism towards you a little bit. So not directly at the bank or at the water. Slant it slightly. That gives it sensitivity. Also, what gives it more sensitivity is if you loop your line, your bank line, in between that trigger system. So really easy to set. Anything pulls on it, and you're gonna set that hook.
Show you how easy this is. All right, Brandon, you ready? Can you help me do it? Nope. Ready? Yeah. There we go. All right, buddy. Yeah, it's good. All right, you want to be the fishy? Yeah, I'm being the fish. All you gotta do is pull on that. So the fish comes up there, sees the food, and eats the food. And what does he do for it? To get his food, and he dies. Bye-bye, fishy. And that is Chris with 4 Directions Bushcraft.